The grandfather of the Prophet Muhammad AbdulMuttalib, was a man of stature and respect. He was a pious man and a leader amongst his community. AbdulMuttalib, he saw in a dream the location for the well of Zamzam. When he woke up, he went to the location and began to dig until he saw the water from the well of Zamzam. And he began to provide the water necessary to quench the thirst of the pilgrims who came to Mecca. To the south of Mecca in Yemen, there was an advisor to the Yemeni king, An-Najashi. This advisor is famously known as Abraha. Abraha witnessed the Arabs performing pilgrimage to Mecca for the sake of worship. As an act of provocation stemming from hate and pride, Abraha ordered the building of a large monastery in an area called Sana'a, in order for people to perform pilgrimage to this place as opposed to Mecca. One of the Bedouin Arabs from the tribe of Bani Kinana, he heard of this place and took it upon himself to travel to this monastery and degrade it by defecating in its direction when he arrived. When Abraha heard of this incident, he became extremely angry. He prepared an army with 60,000 soldiers. Within the large army were 9 large elephants. The army of Abraha reached an area just before Mina on the outskirts of Mecca. On their journey, they took from the people things for their own benefit, such as sheep and cattle, including the sheep of AbdulMuttalib. At this point, the people of Mecca, who were absolutely scared and petrified from the army of Abraha, had abandoned their homes and sought refuge in the mountains. It is there where the people of Quraysh sought the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the army of Abraha. AbdulMuttalib, as the leader and well-respected man in Mecca, went to Abraha to meet him. AbdulMuttalib had an awe associated with his persona, so much so that when he entered the tent of Abraha, his presence was so humbling that Abraha got off his throne and sat on the floor with AbdulMuttalib. Abraha expected a strong conversation to start between them. However, AbdulMuttalib had one request, and that was for Abraha to order his army to return the flock of sheep that his army had taken from him. It is here where Abraha lost respect and said to AbdulMuttalib, "I find it degrading for you, as someone of this stature, to come and ask for their own personal wealth when I have come to destroy a holy site for the Arabs." Then AbdulMuttalib said his famous words, and he says, "I am the master of my sheep and I protect my sheep. Allah is the master of the Kaaba, and Allah will protect the Kaaba."
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول.
AbdulMuttalib, he leaves the tent and proceeded to the mountains, seeking refuge from the destruction that will ensue on the hands of Abraha and his army. Now the time had come to advance and destroy the Kaaba. However, the leading elephant refused to continue to walk in the direction of the Kaaba. Any time the army will change the elephant's direction, the elephant will begin to run. However, the elephant refused to walk in the direction of the Kaaba. A sea of birds covered the sky, each bird holding 3 rocks, 1 in its mouth and 2 by its legs. It began to rain rocks above the heads of Abraha and his army. Some managed to run away with injuries and others were killed immediately by the strike of the rocks on their heads. The area was left like an empty field of stalks and straw. Abraha was struck too. He had wounds and a sickness that followed, to which he succumbed to before making it back to Yemen. This event occurred about 50 or 55 days before the birth of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, as a preparation to the coming of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, as the people of Quraysh were never colonized.